What is Kriya Yoga? Breath control is self-control. Breath mastery is self-mastery. And breathlessness is deathlessness. Paramahamsa Pranananda, thank you. I love you. Paramahamsa Hariharananda, thank you. I love you. Swami Satyananda Giri, thank you. I love you. Paramahamsa Pranananda, or Paramahamsa Yogananda, excuse me. Thank you, Yogananda. I love you. Srimat Bhupendranath Sanyamajaya, thank you. I love you. Swami Shri Yukteswar Giri, thank you. I love you. Sri Lairi Majai, thank you. I love you. Babaji, 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 I love thee. In 1861, the immortal Mahavatar Babaji reintroduced Kriya Yoga, the ancient and divinely provided technique of living and meditation. These teachings and techniques of Kriya Yoga have been directly handed down through a lineage of Kriya Yoga masters from master to disciple. Currently, Paramahamsa Pranananda succeeds Paramahamsa Hariharananda, who left his physical body in 2002 as the head of this lineage. Kriya Yoga simultaneously cultivates body, mind, and intellect using powerful meditative and yogic disciplines. The guiding principle of Kriya Yoga is that each human being is a miniature version of the whole cosmos, a microcosm, an evolving universe within the macrocosm. Furthermore, Kriya Yoga teaches that the all-pervading Supreme Creator is hiding within us, activating our every action via our breath. Hence the name Kriya. All activity, Kri, is done by the power of the indwelling creator or soul, Yah. Yah. Kriya Yoga helps us to realize the truth of the union of the microcosm and the macrocosm, so we can experience ourselves as the Supreme Self. Hello. So, people think of yoga as like America yoga, as like physical body exercises. The first meaning of yoga is union. And that union is achieved through the second meaning of yoga, which is discipline. So if we want to live in union with the creative energy of love that is embedded in all of God's creation, then we need to live in union with our breath, and that takes supreme amounts of discipline. But if we are disciplined, then we are invulnerable. Kriya Yoga teaches meditation techniques, breath control, and calmness, provides direct and immediate spiritual experience, helps to purify and cultivate the mind and to eradicate bondage to desire and ego, gives strength and vigor to the body, is non-sectarian and teaches that all activity can be worship, is only taught through direct contact with an authorized and empowered teacher, and came to us through an unbroken chain of self-realized masters. Kriya Yoga helps us to cultivate and observe the three divine qualities of light, vibration, and sound by using ancient techniques of concentration, posture, and breathing. This develops a one-pointed mind, which enables us to penetrate the deepest levels of consciousness. Diligent practice evolves us in three ways. First, the mind is calmed and freed from internal chatter by practice and manifestation of calm breathing. Second, observing the triple divine qualities helps us eradicate the bondage of subtle desires. So basically what that means is that by perceiving the light of God, the sound of God, and what's the third one? and feel the vibration of God throughout the body. You goddamn right. Third, the cultivation. So by experiencing the presence of God, the creator of the universe, inside of us. It says in the book, any man who cannot bring himself to accept the divinity of another human being can experience the divinity of God within himself. Doing that time and time again through consistent, disciplined, daily practice, it evolves us to a state where that is all that we desire. And as that state of evolution as we reach that stage of evolution, all of the worldly desires that we struggle to overcome, they simply dissolve and are eliminated from our experience of reality. And this is self-control. Third, through the cultivation of body, mind, and intellect, it is possible to attain better health, a more effective intellect, and increasing inner peace, love, and joy. Each seeker is initiated as an individual through direct contact with a yogacharya of the lineage. At the time of initiation, the seeker offers 3 symbolic gifts to God and the Kriya Yoga masters. 5 fruits represent the fruits gained from activities of life. So you're offering these as a sacrifice, meaning you're sacrificing desires through the senses, like the desire to please, to chase after pleasure and get satisfaction from that pleasure of the senses. 5 fruits to represent the fruits gained from the activities of life. So karma yoga basically means that you do what you should, you do what you must, you take care of your responsibilities in life. But you don't do it because it's going to give you a good result. You do it with complete detachment simply because it's your responsibility to do. In doing that, we release all expectations, all attachments, all desires for certain outcomes. And in releasing those desires for future outcomes, our work becomes worship because we are peaceful and present. We don't need to be in that future reality. We are completely content just doing our work. It's the purpose of life, is to fall in love with your work. But you have to fall in love with yourself before you fall in love with your work. 5 flowers represent the 5 senses. Okay, so the fruits represent the fruits of action in life. The flowers represent the 5 senses. And a financial donation represents the physical body. I had no job. I just had some money saved up from my job beforehand. This shit just meant that much to me. I made the donation. It's not that much. And compared, it's literally meaningless. It is paper compared to everlasting peace and joy. Compared to union with the source of all love. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I painted my old yoga studio in these shorts, and I'm pretty sure I might have taught my first class in their new studio in these shorts because I painted the old studio. Like, they have paint all over them, and I was like, yeah, that's the vibe. That's the vibe. The Yogacharya purifies and energizes the spine and the body of the seeker and infuses the triple divine qualities. You think this is bullshit until you practice, and you're like, yo, what the fuck? Why is the room singing to me like angels are all around me? I'm telling you. Then you take some acid. With practice, the seeker will learn to perceive the inner light of the soul to hear divine sound, and to feel the divine movement throughout the body. Sacred mantras are chanted throughout the initiation ceremony, and the meanings are explained in English. At the completion of the sacred initiation ceremony, Kriya technique is thoroughly taught so that new initiates can meditate correctly and continue the process of purification on their own. New initiates attend at least 3 follow-up meditation sessions with the Yogacharya. That wasn't really possible for me, but if it is, then I'm sure it's good for you. To support initiates in their practice, weekly guided group meditations are held at numerous centers. Paramahamsa Hariharananda's Yogacharyas regularly tour the United States, South Africa, Canada, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and India to deliver lectures, give initiations, conduct guided meditations, and provide spiritual counseling. The modern rebirth of Kriya Yoga, born in Habibpur, Bengal, India in 1907, Paramahamsa Hariharananda displayed a remarkable grasp of esoteric scriptures and took a vow of celibacy at the age of 11. So this is my role in this lineage. My role is to carry on these divine teachings, this pure wisdom, this practice of love, but to be someone who people in this world can actually relate to. You know, it's difficult to relate to a guy. You can learn a lot from him, but to actually relate to someone where they can help you you can learn from them with an open mind, and you can actually respect them fully and understand them and all that. He took the vow of celibacy at the age of 11. I took the vow of celibacy until I meet my wife at the age of 19. At the age of 19, but it was after going through hell and realizing that I didn't want to keep doing that. It wasn't because I was just it wasn't because I was a spiritual prodigy. I mean, it was and it wasn't. It wasn't because I was a prodigy who's explaining the Bible to monks at the age of 11. You know, at the age of 24, he was initiated into Kriya Yoga by Swami Sri Yukteswar, who was impressed with his vast knowledge of Hindu and Western cultures. The modern rebirth of Kriya Yoga started with Mahavatar Babaji, who taught it to Lahiri Mahajai. It was then passed to his disciple Swami Sri Yukteswar, also the beloved guru of Paramahamsa Yogananda. Higher Kriyas were taught to Hariharananda by Yogananda, Swami Satyananda Giri, and Sri Bhupendranath Sanyal Mahajai. Having achieved the highest state of a realized yogi in 1948, so the rare, breathless, pulseless state called Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Nirvikalpa Samadhi is the final stage of meditation. It's the final stage of God realization. It is a state in which there is no breath and there is no pulse. That seems impossible, right? So if that was possible, then it would be possible for us to be invulnerable as far as having any reason to fear anything in this life. If we can reach deathlessness, which up until this point has been impossible, but a couple people have done it, so that means everyone has the ability. We can at least all reach self-mastery. Having achieved the highest state of a realized yogi in 1948, the rare, breathless, pulseless state called Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Hariharananda Ji is reverently regarded as the master saint in the self-realized lineage of masters. In 1974, he left India to share his radiant love, blessings, and knowledge with the whole world. He also trained designated monks and teachers to carry on this spiritual heritage. Practical and easy to learn for householders, Kriya Yoga is an efficacious, effective, modern-day vehicle for the complete development of body, mind, and intellect through the revelation of the true self. My responsibility is to take the hell that I lived through and and to take the heaven that I was introduced to gain self-control through breath control, and then to get closer and closer to an embodiment of self-mastery through mastery of breath. And in doing that and documenting my process, I will serve as an example, I will lead by example, and together we will rise.